My name is Daria and I'm from company CleverBooks. We are running Pilot 2 with the STEM solutions, and we provide two mobile applications for the with the augmented reality for the ARETE project. So one of the applications is the ARETE Geography, and another one is the ARETE Geometry. So to use the applications, you may download them from the Google Play or the iTunes, depending on the device that you have. We have provided you the links, and you need to follow the icons of the ARETE to make sure you're getting the correct mobile application. Also, additionally, we have provided you with the password to enter the apps, and that's important. So we will keep the password the same. If in case we make any changes throughout the pilot, which shouldn't happen, we might provide you a different password, but generally we want to keep things simple. We have also created the training guides. The training guides are the documents that you have received in the PDF that are downloadable from the ARETE website. The important thing here, this is just a guide, and it might look complicated. It might look like there are too many actions that need to be taken. In fact, it's so easy, and you will see how it works. So you will see that it's like really simple steps that need to be taken. Now, another important thing for you to keep in mind that you have received the handouts for this specific training session. These handouts represent the pictures, and this is obviously not all the pictures that have the augmented reality in them. You will receive separately workbooks for geometry, building blocks for geometry, workbooks for geography, and the map of the world, which will represent more comprehensive printed options, and you will be able then to use all the possibilities that we present to you through the ARETE applications. Now, apart from the augmented reality that you will have through these applications, they have a specific feature that you might not experience before, because this feature doesn't exist in other augmented reality applications that you might have used or come across with. This feature enables multi-user interactivity, meaning that you are able, as a teacher, to facilitate the broadcast or transmission to different devices of the content that you see through your application. So you are you will be in control of what content the students can see or other device holders can see, and you will experience that as a student during this session, because we'll show you how it works.
Screen, and I'll try to comment in terms of what you have to do specifically to experience the augmentation of content using the ARETE Geometry and ARETE Geography apps. So on Alex's screen, you can see now there are two applications that you would need to download and launch one at a time. So for ARETE Geography, you will be using the marker represented Africa or any other continent, and eventually in the original and the full version, it will be the world map. For ARETE Geometry, you would have the books that Daria said that will be sent to you before the pilot, but today you have just the markers of shapes. So Alex, what are we going to start with? Fantastic. So that's the geometry one, right?
Right.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, I can see you. So whatever is happening on the screen, you see from a teacher perspective. So as you would have done that if you were to initiate the lesson with your students. However, simultaneously, what I would like you to do is, if you already have the app downloaded, please launch the app for geometry now for me. And once you launch the app, you will see the screen asking you to join in the class. I think first you would have to give the code that has been provided to you, the password, and then once you're in, you would have to have a marker of the shape in front of you and the launched geometry app. Once you launch that, we will provide you with the code It's just been posted in the chat by Daria. You can see that the joining in code has 4 numbers, or 4 letters in our case. It's NOVW. And on the screen, you can also see how the teacher sees the screen. The teacher clicks on Begin the Class and has a window that has all the information in terms of what lesson is going to be presented right now, and the code that you would be sharing with your students, like what Daria did. And at this stage, we're waiting for some of you to join in the class using the code. It already joined in, and you will be put on hold because the teacher still doesn't have all the students joining. So as a student, you're waiting until everyone joins, and then once that is done, the teacher will be ready to broadcast. So please be a little bit patient, and then once everyone joins in, we'll be ready to proceed further. But I can see now that we have 6 people joined in. And if you just quickly, yes, if you could look in your previous screen, you could see that as a teacher, I do see how many people have joined in my application. Thank you, Alex. And you can see at the top, it says geometry lesson connected 6. That means 6 people have been connected to my lesson, and we're ready to proceed now further. So to start the lesson, you click on broadcasting. And we're ready to go further, Alex. So you can see that on the left top corner, you have a language icon. If you click on that, you will see that the multiple languages will appear for you to switch between, and you can facilitate the lesson in any of those languages. There are also an interface where you have shapes, test, math game, and shapes games. And you can see that they appear in multiple languages, in different language if you choose the different one. So the important thing here is that to understand that everything that is related to shapes is focused more on the exploration of the content, where you would share a specific shape with the students, and they have the opportunity to interact with the content. We also have the test, which is a 2D, where students could be taken through multiple set of questions, separate to teams test, just to check their knowledge. It's more an interactive and engaging activity. We also have the shapes game. Again, that comes also in 2D, whereby students can go through different levels of gamification, comparing different type of real life objects like apple, orange, to the shapes that we have, for example, circle. The interesting part, and that's what it's all about today here, is about a gamification aspect where we can do it simultaneously that you're waiting for currently as students to join in the class. So Alex, why don't we go directly to the math game, please, with subtraction maybe? Fantastic. And you can see you have the opportunity to choose between subtraction or additions, etc., and assign a specific topic. So we're assigning the subtraction. We now have 7 people joining the class. Your waiting screen should have changed by now, and you can see that you've been divided by teams, and you're in a team of 2 or 3 other people. So once you see that, the button Start will appear, and now you're ready to join in the class. So please click Start, and you will see a mat with a lot of numbers in front of you. And your main goal is to play in teams and drag and drop the number with the correct shape in the correct place. But first, you have to do the subtraction. So you can see that, let's say, 1 plus 1 is 2, and it's square. So you have to find 2. We need to find a figure, square figure with number 2, and drag it into that place. The concept of game here has 2 different levels that you can perform with students. The first one could be a little bit more competitive, where the students have to, as quick as possible, by competing a little bit with each other to complete this game. The second aspect that we've seen working quite well is where the teacher can give clear directions to students, and let's say that Peter, you would be responsible to filling in all the squares, and Matt, you will be responsible for circles and rectangles.
When you're a teacher, you can change the language for the class prior to starting the session. You can select what contents to show, but students can only follow you once they are in this multi-user mode. Now, Alex, can you please hide the panel, and let's first broadcast. Don't start with the game. Let's first broadcast the contents. If you can click on shapes, and if everybody can face the camera of the device on the shape that you have, on one shape, you don't need both, just one shape. So
Square.
now, so you okay.
Triangular prism.
Now you can have on the right side the different options in the menu: 2D, faces, edges, fractions, cross section, different shapes that you can make from 3D. This is just for the students to play around while you are broadcasting the content in a specific mode. You have selected the content for them just to play around. And when you're doing the lesson, you open a book on a specific page and you tell them, now we're gonna be doing this shape and we're gonna be working on this shape. So you can click they can click only on the specific buttons that you have suggested them to click on. So they can't go around the menu, they will just be able to do only the menu that you made them available. Now I want you to show a different mode. So Alex, if you can go back to the main menu by clicking the house. Now, and as a student, you again have the waiting screen, right? Now, if you can go to the test, Alex, and this is something that is aligned, this is a single individual test. If you can click on assign to class, this test, okay, and now everybody has access to the test. This is
So as you perform in the test, you can see that the teacher sees the name of every student, the nickname that was input originally when you logged in, and the teacher can also see the results of performance and the time spent to perform specific task. And it also tells you the status, if the student has finished or still in progress of completing this test. So when you're in the class, you don't need to ask every single student, have you finished? Have you finished? You can see all that in your teacher panel.
Okay, so if I have iOS an iPhone and my student has Android,
doesn't matter.
It's okay with the same code to...
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
You can have also tablets of different providers. You can have the mix of Android and iOS devices. It doesn't matter.
That's very good.
No problem at all. And let's try to play a game. So let's go for addition, but you can select subtraction, division, anything. So Alex will assign to the class and we're gonna work in teams now. So we have different teams and I'm together with Lydia.
I have 2 more members in my team. What you have to do is just to click start and wait until you face the camera on the marker. So once you do that, you have to move a little bit back from the marker. I would say half a meter, well, I don't know, 40 centimeters.
5 meters.
40 centimeters, no, not too long, not too far. And then you will see the whole mat on your table with lots of numbers. Your main goal is to use the finger to drag and drop the numbers to put them in the correct place. So let's say 1 plus 6 is 7, and it's a rectangle. So your goal is to find a number with the rectangle shape around and try to put it in the correct place. And I'm with in a team with other 3 people. What you can do, you can start moving those shapes.
So this is an example of multi-user activity, and you essentially see what other users are doing as well. This is for you an understanding on how this works and how you as a teacher can broadcast this. Now, when you are a student, you just need to use the code that I provided you in the training guide, and then you will be able to access that as the single user without any multi-user option.
And then you would need to launch a geography app, ARETE Geography. Because we're moving now to a very different subject. Each subject has their own application, and the process is exactly the same. Once you launch the application, the first activity that you need to do is to input the app code,
the password.
Once the password is entered, then on the screen you can see Alex starting as a teacher a new class, a geography class, and he's signing as a teacher and ready to begin the class. We're going to still use English language to perform this class, but he obviously has an opportunity to change the language and facilitate the class in different languages. Geometry app works together with shapes. Geography app works together with continents. And we have Africa to explore in today's class. So if you can look on the screen now that Alex is sharing, you can see that the interface of the app is very similar to the geometry one. Here you have three main let's say modes to explore. You have the continent modes, where students can explore the content through single user and really the exploration of the content in different modules that you will assign. There's also a gamification aspect here. Let's go in the water mode and let's explore some underwater life. So you can see that Alex has assigned as a class, and you should be able to now point the camera of your device at the marker Africa and experience the 3D mode of underwater world. You also can use your mobile phone and come closer and a little bit further away. So just move forwards and backwards to see the different underwater life activities. So he has the opportunity to manipulate what kind of content he will be broadcasting to you. So you can see on his screen, there is a panel on the right-hand side, and you can choose between animals, water animals, weather, or plants, or political mode, or heritage. And whatever he chooses as a teacher, that's what you see on your screen, and you will have the opportunity to explore that. Last one is you just need to keep your marker very straight, so it couldn't be bended. That's one thing. And secondly is you can't come too close because then you would lose the screen. So, but that's kind of the specifics of the software itself.
And also, lighting conditions are crucial for augmented reality to work. It can be okay for your eyes, but for computer eyes, it should be really, really good light.
So you will have it, but now let's try a game. So you need to, so Alex, it's Africa. Everybody has only Africa. So now the game, you are a student, will be
Africa
assigned.
is the
most difficult one.
No need to finish it till the end, but who knows, maybe we can. So we go, and you need to drag the flags into the correct positions of the countries, okay? Just take the flag, drag it, and drop it in the correct countries, okay?
And as a teacher, I can see what is happening on the main screen. I can see that the teams are doing quite well, and that there are 3 teams, that everyone is still in progress to complete their game. So as a teacher, you have the full control in terms of students' performance. And you can see who is struggling and who is doing quite well.
And you can also see that whatever you drag, you have a small circle in close to your name with the color. And when you drag and put the flag in the correct place, you can see that it's highlighted with the color of
right. App has a little bit larger size than the geometry, so you need to make sure that you have enough storage space because the device needs not only the space to store the app but also to run it.
Yeah. This video guide will help you to click on the right buttons in the right time. That's one thing. You will have alongside with you the training guide. You have fantastic woman Elizabeth, who is always happy to help, and she provided you email if you have any tricky questions, which she will send over to me, and I will be happy to answer them.